Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. I am in Dharamsala, India, which is the city where the Dalai Lama lives. So I feel very honored to be here. Today I have again a guest, one of my friends, Dara, and she is going to introduce herself and tell us a little bit about herself. Please go ahead, Dara.
Okay, hello everybody. Yes, like how Celeste said, my name is Dara. I've been on here before, I think a couple of times, and I'm back because I just love talking to Celeste actually, and I hope you all love listening to her as much. She does talk about a very good subject. Not the kind of subject that a lot of people would talk about in general, but so this is a good place for us to just talk about things. Yeah, I think I've introduced myself before. I'm a transgender. I live in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. I've lived here ever since I came back from studies, which is like about 35 years ago. So I'm not very young. I'm old, quite old. I have a lot of like insights and also experiences. So I hope whatever that we're going to discuss today will benefit those who will be listening in. Yes, thank you.
Okay, yeah, so just so you know, actually a lot of people are following these talks, and so I get a lot of private DMs because some people, they're not brave enough to ask things in public. But
yeah,
I have a lot of people asking questions, and so this is very helpful. Okay, so last time you and I spoke about like your transition, because you transitioned from male to female. We spoke about your background. If anyone wants to know more, I will link that video down here below. And then we also did a video where we spoke about what is a woman. You gave your opinion, I gave my opinion, my friend Sue gave her opinion. But so today's video, I want to continue on with some of the things that we discussed in the other videos. So people, if you're a bit lost,
sure.
You better watch the other videos first. So I think the first thing I want to ask is, okay, so we spoke a lot about the characteristics of female and of woman.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say this, what does this mean? What are these characteristics that you speak about?
Okay, first of all, I think we have to identify, not or define, or make separations between the word female and women. Because like as we have spoken about it before, female are quite like biological. You know what I mean? You are born with attributes, which are the characteristic, physical characteristic, and you are defined as female. However, women would be the non-physical, not so much physical attributes, but more on personality, mindset, behavior, mannerism. That sometimes that there are people who are not born female, yet they have women characteristic.
Right.
And of course, on that note, it doesn't mean that once you have a woman characteristic, you are female, because we have heard of people having the word they would use would be like, oh, that guy has a very like feminine character, but
right.
From the word female, but I think it would be like a woman's, like a woman's character, like a softer heart kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like the softer side of life, where a lot of people would associate to being feminine or women or being a woman. So I think that's how I look at it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I get you. Yeah, because so what you're saying is like, yeah, female is one thing, it's biological. Woman is more, like we said last time, it's more of a label. It's like you said, behavior.
Yeah.
So when you talk about character, so let's talk about characteristics of a female. So
Okay.
that would be what? That would be the biological.
Yeah, the biological characteristic for female, which seriously, even medical cannot change that. I mean, in that
Right.
sense, you know, like if you were born with the private part, vagina, and then eventually when you grow, when you mature, then you get your breasts and things like that, you know, like softer skins, less hair, softer features, you know, I'm not stereotyping, but you can see that between, like, let's say you have a family of siblings, even their noses, the one who are female will have like softer,
Yes,
structured nose compared to the man, and then smaller forehead and rounded forehead. I mean, these are all the kind of characteristic of a female, you know, or like bigger hips, you know, slender thighs, you know, those are characteristic of female, you know, and characteristic of woman. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be like uh, uh slender legs or
yeah, it's
big
not biological.
bosoms. Yeah, it's not biological. It's more like how you think of being a woman, you know. I mean, like if you have like a kind of heart, you know, like I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, sometimes when you talk about when you mention this kind of thing, it kind of seems like we are stereotyping, you know.
Yes,
But
yes.
yeah, but it's not stereotyping. I hope you all will understand that it's more generalization, not stereotyping.
Yes,
You
yes.
know, yeah, because at the end of the day, when you're a woman, even if you have if you have that woman characteristic, I mean, even if you have stocky physiques, but if you have like the uh, kind of hard kind of thing, you know, like not so not so like um not so like
Aggressive.
brazen, aggressive or brazen, then
Yes,
you are
brazen,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
woman, you know,
Yes, yeah.
brazen, you know. I mean, not to say that men who are brazen are bad, but it's just that that's the
It's just that what it
difference,
is,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, there is this thing like, yeah, because female, of course, would be the chromosomes, the gametes, the ovaries that will determine, you know, the uterus, then the vagina. Like you said, that will be like on the inside, and also the hormones, that's all on the inside. Also the bone structure, like you said, because females have bigger hips. If you look at our skeletons, female have the pelvis is bigger, and then also
Yeah.
the sacrum, the bone, what's it called at the bottom. Men's is not as flexible. That's why men cannot bend forward easily. You know, like women can bend forward. So they and women are in general more flexible because their bones can
Yeah.
move. And we are generalizing, please. We are not stereotyping. Everybody get this in your heads. Do not get your panties in a knot.
Yeah.
We are just generalizing. Okay. There are people who
Generalizing.
are different. Like Dara said, there are some men who have more women characteristics, and there are some women like me who have more manly
Yeah.
characteristics. It doesn't make me less of a female, right? Yeah, and then
Yeah.
the woman would
I
be
think it,
more behavior, like you said. Again, not stereotypical, but generalizing. Women would tend to be kinder, softer.
yeah, more
They won't.
analytical.
Yeah, they're not going to be playing with their breast in public like a man would play with his balls in public. You know, right? It's just
Yeah.
something that women
Yeah.
don't do.
I mean,
Women don't flash,
I mean,
men will flash.
yeah.
It's
Do
just
you realize that how many times we have had to qualify what we're saying here between stereotyping and generalization? I think that's one topic that we can touch on today, because I realize nowadays, especially the younger generation, they are just like so sensitive to everything. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not good to be sensitive, but then I mean, like I said, I mean, I'm old. I've gone through a lot of things, you know, like in life kind of thing, you know. And I remember when we were in our 30s, nothing, or not many things would offend us, especially words. You know
exactly.
what I mean? Remember? Yeah. But
Yes.
now But now it's like one word can start a whole berserk, viral, the name calling and things like that because
Yes,
of that
yes.
one word that is like somehow misused or not misused, like being said at one point just to prove a point or to qualify to state a statement, you know. So I think that is simply going a bit too much because it is very difficult for us to actually focus on the actual issue or problem that we are facing.
Right.
You know, I mean, like, nah, I mean, not only in the transgender world or in the LGBT world, but even in the real
Just
world,
in
you know,
general, yeah.
like one,
Just, yeah.
yeah, in like one word, and people get so triggered, and then like all this conversation and discussion is about that use of that word, and then everybody will be like, what's the actual topic we're talking about? Actually, you know,
Yeah, the topic
so I
already got
think,
lost like 6 topics
yeah,
ago. Yeah, yeah. Okay, right. So we've
yeah,
established characteristics now. So this is what I wrote here when I wrote you. I said, now, so based on your above answer, which of these characteristics, which is the female characteristics, we start with that first, you know, so what you did of the body, which of these characteristics did you or would a person who is transitioning do surgically or cosmetically? And have you personally implemented all these changes already?
yeah. Okay, I think I understand what the question. Basically, transitioning from a male to female, the word itself says it, from male to female. It's not from man to woman. You know,
Right.
it's from male to female. So when you transition to want to become female, you do have to have those female characteristics that unfortunately you were not born with. You know, speaking of the characteristic of a female, those will be like the bosoms, and then the vagina, and then uh, procedure to make your body more curvaceous, you know. And one of the things that I had to go through, which sometimes I did regret, but then I'm done with regretting, is to shave off my Adam's apple.
Oh, yeah, that's
You
another
know,
thing. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I never thought that it would be a big issue because when I was younger, I mean, you know, you just have to like flip your hand and you're a woman, you know. But then when I was a performer, especially at Boom Boom, remember when we were at Boom Boom, many times up on stage when I'm dancing or I'm performing or I'm singing, I can see people in the audience, especially women, you know, like they're trying to like point out to their boyfriend that, oh, that's a man, you know, and
Yeah,
they will
yeah, yeah,
always
yeah.
point,
Point to
you know,
the
like
Adam's
they,
apple, right,
yeah,
right.
yeah. So like the woman will be like pointing to the boy, you know, and then I was like, you know, so that is also conditioning, also, like, you know, I mean, like eventually I got conditioned to be like, yeah, probably I should just remove it because I suddenly noticed it that it was
Yeah, you
there,
suddenly
you
became
know.
self-conscious about it.
Yeah, very self-conscious, which is quite unfair
Right,
actually,
right. Yeah,
because
yeah.
the reason why I say unfair is because not because like now I have a smoother neck, is because like a lot of people didn't know this, or I never really talk about it, was I lost my voice. You know,
Oh,
I mean, at Boom Boom I used to sing, remember?
yes, you're a singer.
Remember I used to
You
sing?
lost your
Yeah.
voice? Oh my
Yes,
goodness. I
I
know you
did.
are a singer.
Yeah, so when I shaved my Adam's apple that time, I mean, when I was on the operation theater, together with the SRS, you know, the doctor wanted to remove the Adam's apple first, and I said, okay, fine. So I was still awake, you know. So he abused me up, and then he said, okay, I'm gonna shave your Adam's apple now. I said, okay, fine. Then I said, just go you know, just say So I went and then as he shave it, the tone of my became like it went lower without
Right.
me having to change the tone. It went lower, and I was like, oh shit, what have I done? You know, so I was like, oh no, I'll get we'll see what happened later on. You know, so for the longest time, I could speak, but I couldn't speak like I I couldn't speak like I used to, in a sense that I would be out of breath if I want to speak on a higher voice. So I had to go like always like very like
Low, yeah,
not
yeah.
like lower than I used to, you know. And then when I tried to sing, my falsetto were all gone, was all gone. I couldn't sing like stay alive,
Like I
stay
remember you
alive.
used to sing, yes. Oh my
Yeah, you know.
goodness.
Yes. So for the longest time, and then but then of course now on the hindsight, if I had realized it, or if I were to even make an effort and go to like maybe voice training, maybe I could have got it back. You know, like like not immediately, like at least faster than now. You know, because
Right.
now I could still sing, and my voice is higher, and I don't go out of breath when I do my hosting. You know, like before I would be like, yes, everybody, give a big round of applause. But when after immediately after my operation that time when I was doing hosting, you know, I just couldn't hype the crowd because my voice was like stuck
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So those are the things that I mean it was kind of very affecting for me, which I don't think people know that the among the desperation, or not desperation, the sadness, you know, like something similar to sadness, the sadness that I had to go through for doing all these things.
Right,
You know,
yes,
people
yes.
think like, people think like, oh, transition, oh, she's gonna have a good life, and then like,
Yeah, yeah.
let's
You just
let's
gotta
make her
change clothes
let
and then you, yeah, yeah.
yeah, you know, let's make her life miserable by putting her down. I mean, don't
Yeah,
you know that I
yeah.
already have my issue? I have my own personal issue, and then you are not helping me by putting me
Right, right, right.
down and keep teasing me and things like that, you know. So yeah, so those are the kind of things that it's emotionally quite affecting for me.
Taxing.
Uh yeah, very taxing, you know, but because I love to sing. I mean honestly, I tell you, I used to like sing my heart out in the shower.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
I know
that
in
was
Boom
one of
Boom
my
Boom,
favorite
I'll
things to
never
do.
forget you did the what is that, the TLC song?
Yeah,
Uh,
with you, right? With you, the
no, with Christine.
waterfall.
Christine did the rap. Yeah,
Christine,
Waterfalls,
yeah,
yes. And you were always the lead singer
waterfall,
for like you and
yeah, and
Imelda.
then
If it's not Imelda, it was you.
yeah,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
that's
so yeah, that's very tragic. I mean, it's tragic actually.
yes,
It's very
tragic. Yeah.
tragic. So you can imagine, I couldn't sing in the shower anymore, and my life was very lonely. You know, because
Mm-mm.
like before I would just like blurt out singing in the shower, or maybe just like at work or something. I'd be like suddenly I just go,
Yeah, you were
whoa, you
always
know, like
singing,
sing the
even in
whole
the dressing room,
yeah. You know, but
irritating
then after
everybody.
that
But
I
that's
you know,
Dara.
I mean, that's very interesting because like after like I think about after like 10 years or so, I mean, I when I did get my voice again, of course,
Back, yeah.
kept on. I just went on singing to myself and at work, you know. And very interesting. This is an anecdote. When I was working in one company, and then one of the senior staff was suspicious about me, and then complained to the boss and says that, oh, I don't think Dara is so loyal to the company because, you know, blah 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 whatsoever, you know. And it was so interesting. The boss told me this. And then the boss told me the story. Then I said, so what do you say back to this staff, you know, this staff? Then my boss said, I don't think Dara is that type of person, because have you heard her singing? She's like so happy with her life. I don't think
Right,
she's into all this politics or
right,
backstabbing
right.
or whatever. She
Yeah,
just sings, you
singing,
know.
yeah, yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I was quite glad that somebody noticed that, you know, that yeah, because I mean, I'm like, I just like let out, you know what I mean? I
Right,
mean,
right.
I'm not a serious person. I don't get into politics, you know, those kind of thing. So that was very interesting anecdote. I mean, so something that I know that has an effect on people, that people do notice that I do sing.
Right, right, right. Okay, so you
Yeah.
said, so you did, so of course you did the, what's it called, vaginoplasty, you did the breast augmentation, you had your Adam's apple removed, and then of course you had to take hormones to feminize yourself, like soften your skin or smoothen,
Yes. When
and to lower
before
your
I did the operation,
testosterone.
Okay, before I had the operation, I did take the hormones just to see how it works, you know. But then after I have had the operation, I mean, of course, before the operation, when I was on hormone, I didn't like it anyway. I mean, to begin with, I think I'm quite blessed, or rather, or I'm quite lucky in that sense, because at the back of my mind, I always know that I will transition. You know,
Right.
I never wanted to start shaving my face. I never wanted to, shaving the face or roughen my skin, you know, and I've always find ways of eliminating the hair, using the most non-invasive method, which is like tweezing.
Okay.
You know, do you know that?
Plucking.
Yeah, do you know that? Yeah, plucking. You know, so tweezing,
Tweezing,
and then after that, for the legs, I found this at that time. I found this like miracle gadget called the epilator.
Oh yes, I know. Yeah, I know
Yes,
that.
you
I've
know.
never used it. Yeah, epilady. Yeah, I've heard
Do
of
you?
it.
Yeah, because before my operation, the only part of my body that was like that has a lot of hair would be my legs, because
Your
I would
legs,
always
yeah.
shave it. Yeah. Then when I found the epilator, I mean, of course, they said 10 minutes you can remove your hair. But of course, when you have so much hair, I think I remember the first time I used it was like almost an hour for me to actually get rid of all my hair on the legs, you know. And then, of course, surprisingly, luck was on my side. The epilator made my hair grow slower, and it makes my hair grow softer,
Softer,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
And then, and then after using it all the time, now, like 20 years later, I hardly have any hair on my legs.
Okay, but don't you
Because
think this is also because of the hormone treatment?
No.
No.
Okay, no. Okay, that's the thing I want to address too, because
Okay.
I only took hormone. Before I had the operation, because I wanted to like kind of grow breast and see what is it all about, you know, because everybody takes hormone to become
Right,
a woman, you know. But after my operation, I tell you honestly, the only thing I acknowledge is that I have no more testosterone. That means like I don't really need to counter back the growth of that male characteristic, because I don't have testosterone anymore. I don't have the
you didn't have,
testicle.
but what happened to your testosterone? Oh, because they removed
Okay,
the
because
testicles.
oh
Yeah,
once you
sorry.
remove the you know.
Sorry.
Yeah, you don't have it. You don't have it, so you didn't know, right? It's okay.
Yeah.
So that's what happens, you know. So once you remove your testicle, I mean, technically you don't have any more testosterone. So why do I need to have female hormone to counter back the growth of male hormone in my body, because I don't have any more male hormone.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So that's how that's my logic, you know. And honestly, I'm not on. I don't take any kind of hormone, whether it's male or female hormone. I don't. You know.
Okay.
And that's one, because, and also in my mind, I'm like, okay, if I were to take female hormone, those are synthesized, you know, those are like not natural. And
Chemical, yeah,
I'm
it's chemical,
very
yeah.
chemical. Yeah, you know, so I'm very like apprehensive about taking synthetic, you know.
Right.
So instead of what I do is from my humble research, you know, I found out that I can still maintain my softness and my suppleness, you know, by going with collagen.
Right.
You know, I mean, of course, as you know, collagen can be taken by both male and female.
Yes,
But then
yes.
if you don't, but then if you don't have the male testosterone anymore, you know, then if you take collagen, then it will just work with whatever you have in your body, right? Yeah. So, and I'm glad to say that I've been taking collagen since I was in my 30s, and I'm fine, you know. So I'm like, I mean, I'm like one of those many, I think one of those that don't take hormones. I don't take hormones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's very interesting. And you see, because people don't know what people like you have to go through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially those who are just faking it. Like, remember the picture I sent you of that person?
Which
The
one?
one showing his penis and everything.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, you know, like,
yeah,
that person has done absolutely nothing, and does not have the female characteristics nor the woman characteristics. It's just a man
but
in
he
a
wants,
dress flashing. That's all.
yeah, but he wants to be identified as
Yes,
transgender.
yes, and this is where
Yeah,
the anti-trans thing is happening,
yeah,
because people are looking at people like him, who is just a man
yeah.
in a dress, which is very different from people like you. Okay, but I'll get into that later. Okay, so I want to go to the
Yeah.
next thing. So we've covered characteristics. Now I want to ask about personality traits, because you know there's the big five personality traits. So what are your personality traits? And based on this answer, we can explore whether they are more masculine or more feminine. So do you know the five personality traits? I saved it. I saved it
Do you have it
offline.
here?
No, but I have it here. I will read it for you.
Okay, so what do the experts say the five are? Let me see if I have any.
Yeah, I have it. I have it here. Yeah, I have it here. Okay,
what
so
are
the
they?
5 factors are this. So there's extroversion, which is a positive emotion. So like, the meeting will end in 10 minutes, but then we will quickly then change to the next meeting. I sent you two. There's extroversion.
What, extraversion or extroversion? What is it?
Extroversion. That means outgoing.
Okay.
And then there is extroversion. Okay, which means like, are you outgoing? Then there's neuroticism, which is a negative emotion. Like, are you? So extroversion, sometimes referred to as, it's indicated by assertive, energetic, and gregarious behaviors, which I know, like, that's me. Okay, let me do the next one. Is neuroticism is essentially equivalent to emotional instability and can be seen in irritable and moody behaviors. Yeah. Then there's openness, which is to experience, sometimes referred to as intellect, and it indicates an individual's inquisitiveness, thoughtfulness, and propensity for intellectually challenging tasks. Like, it's people who are open, like creative people. Then there's agreeableness is indicated in empathic, sympathetic, and kind behaviors. And then the last one is conscientiousness, which refers to an individual's sense of responsibility and duty.
Okay.
So are you
these are
extroversion?
Okay, these are 5 characteristics of a woman.
No, this is just of people. And then, but the women will tend to be more high in neuroticism and in agreeableness, whereas men will be higher in conscientiousness, for example. But women will be, you know, but I mean, it depends on. So what do you think?
Okay, so let's say if this is like the 5 category to identify whether you are more male or more female or more masculine or more womanly, I think extroversion, extroversion would be, what was it again? Like you are
like outgoing,
outgoing,
outgoing. Social, you're not afraid to talk. Social, you're not afraid of crowds. You can just,
Yeah, so I mean, like, I guess in terms of extroversion, then I am quite an extrovert.
Okay.
You know, I mean, like, there are times when I would not, I mean, I don't think I'm an introvert at all. I am,
I don't think
I
so
will
either.
be shy. Yeah, I will be shy initially. I would be shy initially because I don't know people. But once I know the people, as a group of people that I'm going to meet or the place I'm going, then I think I'm an extrovert because I just love meeting and talking with people, you know. Yeah, so extroversion, I'm quite like 80% like that lah, you know. Neuroticism, I don't think I am. I mean, I'm quite a level-headed. You know, I
Okay.
don't nag. I don't get hung up on things until I get very stressed with myself. You
So
know,
you are
get to
low.
your
So you
then
would be low in neuroticism.
yeah, I think I'm zero.
Okay.
I'm
And
not a neurotic person. Yeah, I'm quite level-headed. And openness in
okay.
intellectuality, yeah, I think I'm very open. You know, I
Well,
mean,
creative people are usually very open.
yeah, because that's how you express yourself, whether
Yes.
it's in artwork or I mean, whether it's physical or mental or verbal or emotional. You know, if you're open, then it's very easier. It's an easier life. You
Okay.
know, agreeable.
Agreeableness. Are you agreeable
For
or
me, I
are
think,
you
yeah, I think for me, agreeable, I would be agreeable if I'm being given enough information or yeah, information or resources for me to see it to be agreeable.
so? But
You know,
also, what it
you
means is like,
cannot just make me.
would you just agree with things just because you don't want to rock the boat? Or
Oh no, I don't think so. You
okay,
know,
so
I
you are
mean,
low in agreeableness.
yeah, I mean, I would agree only if I can really see the point of agreeing, but that doesn't mean that I would rock the boat. If I don't, I mean, I'm either agreeing or I just decide not to get into it.
Okay, okay. So
You
that
know what
means
I
you
mean?
are agreeable. Yeah. Okay,
50
conscientiousness.
lah, 50-50.
50-50. Yeah.
Conscientiousness, yeah, I'm a very conscientious person. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think when you have a kind heart, you do have quite a big percentage of conscience in yourself.
Like you have a
You
sense
know,
of responsibility and duty, so you will do the
yes,
right thing. Yeah.
yeah, you know, yeah. I mean, so much so that if as long as it doesn't impose on people, I don't preach.
Right,
You
right.
know what I mean? I mean, yeah, I'm just conscious about things, you know, and then going back to the openness and things like that. I mean, all these things will interrelate, then it will come to the consciousness, whatever.
Conscientiousness. Yeah. So that means you're actually
Yeah.
quite balanced. You are like, you have both traits. I mean, this is just from us talking. When you actually do the test, it might turn out differently. Like me, I'm just masculine.
Mm,
My traits are just
yeah.
masculine. And I mean, and I'm fine with that because that's just
Yeah. I
who I am.
mean,
I'm very
exactly like what I mean, like
disagreeable.
you said, because this kind of thing, you shouldn't, people shouldn't be judged, or if you are in that position, you shouldn't be too conscious about what you are, because even if you're very aggressive, there are some good in you
Yeah, yeah.
that you know, the aggressiveness could lead to some good things, you know. I mean, like for
Yeah.
example, you're so aggressive, you travel around the world. You ask me to go travel around the world, I'll be like,
Yeah. No,
no, it's
it's a thing.
okay.
It's like you must know what you are, and then you must know how to control it, when to give too much of it, and when not to, and when to pull back. Like you see, like
Yeah.
I'm not very agreeable. Like
Mm.
if somebody says something that is wrong, I will tell you to your face it's wrong. I'm not gonna sit back and keep quiet. But then I have to every day consciously think about, okay, I'll say 3 things to you, and then the other 2 I will let it go. You know, so it's like I have
Yeah.
to, yeah. So yeah, like
Yeah. I
it's
mean,
not
that's how
wrong.
life is
It's
all
just you must
about,
know
right?
how to,
Yeah.
yeah, how to control it. So one,
Before that, have you noticed what the t-shirt that I'm wearing?
it's
Can you
back
read
to
what it
front for
says?
me. What does it
Oh,
say?
I see. It says, wait, now let me see if I can go front to back. Yeah.
Raise boys and girls the same way. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So the next question would be, I want to talk about the differences between gender dysphoria, gender expression, gender identification, and gender classification.
Okay.
So what is gender dysphoria, and do you have gender dysphoria?
Yeah. I think we did mention this or talk about it before, right? I mean, for me, when words are used, some words, even though the meaning is it is what it is, but it can be a bit condescending kind of word, you know. So like I think the difference between gender dysphoria, if I'm being labeled to be having gender dysphoria that leads me to be what I am now, then me, the non-confrontational person, would be like, fine, that's my label.
Because that is what the doctor, if you had to go for evaluation, that is probably what they would find. And that is what the condition. It's a condition. Like I have body dysmorphic disorder. Mine is an actual disorder. But that is just, it's the condition. It's just something that I have.
I mean,
I want to talk about gender dysphoria specifically, and I want to know whether you have gender dysphoria, like have you ever been diagnosed with it? And this is based on the definition of what it is, what gender dysphoria is.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, like, when how can I start? Okay. The word gender dysphoria, I mean, I'm only aware of it like recently. You know, I mean, like during the time when I was having the thoughts about not being in the right body and things like that. I mean, I didn't know what it was called, you know. So probably now, looking back, probably that's why I'm a bit like not wanting to admit that I have gender dysphoria, because of the word dysphoria. Like I said, it does associate to something negative, you know. But then I guess if I were to have been made aware of what it means, which I have seen the definition now, I guess that's what I had. You know, I mean, because
that you have.
That I had, because because I was biologically in a body. I was biologically not the person that psychologically I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because,
yes.
So if that's the definition of gender dysphoria, then I guess I did have it. I know until a point where I had the transition.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So because gender dysphoria is where you like, based on what it says here, a sense of unease that a person may have because of a mismatch between their biological sex and their gender identity. Because gender identity again is not the same as biological sex. Right, because your identity, you identify as a woman, right?
Yes.
So that is where the difference comes between gender and sex.
Yes. So I mean, I like I said, you know, I mean, probably because when I was growing up, or when I was going through this in my younger days, I didn't come across the definition of it. And now that the definition is gender dysphoria, and it is a harmless definition, no negative connotation to the word at all, you know. So then I guess
because that is just what it is, right? Because it explains exactly, and that is just the label that has been given to it. Like I say, I have been labeled with body dysmorphic disorder, which is also mine. Is that my mind tells me one thing, but my body is telling me a different thing. You know, so it's a bit similar, but same but different lah.
Yeah, I mean, the word disorder sounds like I'm not right.
No,
you know, like, but then it is what it is.
But this is strange, because when gender dysphoria, they cannot, because of the activists and the sensitivity that surrounds it, they have taken out the word. It used to be called sexual identity disorder, but because that has negative connotations. But with BDD, they just like, we don't care how you feel. You have it. You know, like Michael Jackson is a typical share. Those people have serious BDD issues. That's why they keep having surgery after surgery, you know. Right.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, that one has got nothing to do with gender anymore, right?
No,
That one
that's
is more
BDD.
like
No, that's body
BDD.
dysmorphic disorder. Yeah, they have BDD.
Oh,
But I
okay.
have what they have, except I don't do the surgeries because I go for therapy instead. You know, I just
Okay.
pay my money. My money goes to sitting and talking to someone.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have looked totally different. I would have looked like a man. And not because I want to be a man. I just want that kind of physique, the narrow hips, you know, that's all. I just want to look like Bruce Lee or like a 16-year-old boy.
Okay.
16-year-old boy. That's all.
Okay.
It doesn't mean I want to be a man.
Cool.
Yeah. So, yeah. But unfortunately,
Okay.
they just looked at me and told me, you're sick in the head. Move on. Anyway,
Yes.
yeah, that's what they told me. Anyway,
Hey,
so
do you notice that we both have like this
the mole here.
yeah,
Is yours natural?
you know? Yeah.
Jen, you're okay.
As natural as it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
yeah.
mine is natural. Yeah.
Yeah, yours
And
is
it's getting
natural.
bigger
Yeah, of
and
course.
bigger and bigger as I get older. Just
Oh, really?
yeah, it
So
grows.
yours is on the right side of your face.
Yeah, the right side, yes. And yours.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
That's I only noticed it now. My
Oh,
God.
I've always had it.
Yeah.
It's getting bigger. It used to be smaller, but if it gets too big, I'll remove it. Okay, so the next
Okay.
question then. Okay, so we've done gender dysphoria, we've done gender identity. I think people know people know about this. Now, gender expression. So
Okay.
gender expression is how you present yourself to the world. Like, do you present masculine or feminine or androgynous?
Okay. I mean, historically, before before I transition, I prefer to present myself.
Before transitioning.
Before transitioning, I prefer to present myself as androgynous.
Right.
Because I think at that time it was also like I don't know whether I've mentioned it before. It was like during the
Boy George.
emergence of Boy George and all,
Yes.
like so.
Yes.
It was very like it was very fun to be gender binding.
Yes.
Gender bending
Gender bending,
kind
yeah,
of
and
thing.
fluid.
Yeah, and fluid, like everything has to be a mix of both gender, because I remember I would go like run around everywhere to find a female shoe that looks like a male shoe, so it was always like the loafers, but I mean,
Yeah.
like now I see they're all on Shopee and things like that, but before I was like, where am I gonna get like those shoes that men wear to work, but then it's not like exactly bulky like a men's shoe.
Yeah.
So I would have gone, I remember I went everywhere to look for it, and then they didn't have it so much, but I did manage to buy a couple, which I still remember. There was one was like a maroon one, which I love so much, because like men don't wear maroon shoe.
No.
This was like a shoe that looks like a men's shoe, like a boat shoe like that, but it was like a women's, so
Yeah.
So back then it was more like androgyny, but then after I've decided that my way where I want to go, then it's like, well, let's go feminine all the way. You know what I mean? Where I mean, of course, even back then, I already have the freedom to grow my hair long, and then probably I have a little bit of makeup and things like that, So I guess after transitioning is 100% feminine,
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 I was
which
talking to
which
Aldia about that. I said, like when I see you, the way you express is stereotypical feminine. Like
the way I express.
yes, because
Okay.
your clothes are always like, even your pants. It's the way it's cut. It will be a feminine cut. It's not like my pants. My pants will be a 16-year-old boy's pants that I got from
like cargo and things
from
like
Giant.
that.
Yeah, but you would not. You would have the proper. It's a cut that is for the female body. That's why it fits, and it will fit you well, and your dresses and your coats and your shoes. And because I mean,
Yeah,
you know, and your baju kebayas and your, you know, your kurong, it would be the
exactly.
typical. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so that's so you express very feminine.
Very feminine. But then very interestingly, nowadays, because I don't have to dress to impress anymore. I mean, not to say that I was very desperate to impress people. It's just that when you used to work, you know,
Yeah.
there were like certain looks that you have to have,
Yes, yes, yes. You have to have an image.
uh, yeah, the image of being a working girl kind of
Right,
thing, you
right,
know. But
right.
then now I just wear something that I feel comfortable in, and surprisingly, it's back to the androgyny, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I mean, my most favorite shoes would be all flats now, and not necessarily flat leather or flat feminine pumps or what. They would be like sneakers, high
Right.
tops, and you know, I mean, like luckily now, high tops and sneakers are very androgynous anyway. I mean, like both sexes have sneakers, but then of course there are like distinction between female sneakers and male
Right,
sneakers that
right.
I realized, you know. So now I realize that I am going back to being not really androgynous, more like comfort.
Comfort. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know, comfort.
And then
So
and I'd
probably
probably see you and say, oh no, that's feminine.
well,
You know,
feminine, com-
because you know the way I
comfortable.
dress is like
Yeah,
I have no
comfortable feminine.
yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
dress. I can be very feminine if it's going to benefit me.
yeah.
But if it's not going to
Mm.
benefit me, I'm quite happy in my, you know, my
Cargo and pullovers and
yeah,
things
and
like that, right?
my
Yeah,
sneakers and t-shirt,
yeah.
jeans, be it t-shirt, jeans, and sneakers. I'm fine. But if I know it's going to benefit me, oh, I will be wearing that frilly pink top with that little
Yeah,
skirt and my high heels, and I can sell it because we are performers.
yeah,
It's just a performance
yeah,
for me.
exactly.
It's just a
Exactly. It's just a
performance.
performance. Yeah. I mean, like recently, I mean, I do have to kind of dress up a bit, you know. I mean, like, but then I realized that it's a far cry from when I had to dress up like maybe 10 years ago, you know, because like 10 years ago it would be like to the hilt, you know. Now it's like I want to be comfortable, especially if the event has like buffet spread. You know,
You
I'm
need space
like
around the stomach.
yeah, I need space between the clothes and my body so that it doesn't really show when I eat a lot, you know. So now it's more comfort, you know. I mean, even
So
though
now your
with a touch of
style
feminine,
is situational.
situational, more grown up, I think. I
Okay.
mean, I don't want to say more old lady, you know, but yeah, it's more it's like I'm so comfortable with whatever I'm wearing. I rather be comfortable than trying to impress kind of
Right,
thing. You know
right.
what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've
And for the
not reached that
viewers,
stage yet. Sorry.
and for the viewers, I must say that it takes a while for you to get to this level, you know, to be
Yeah,
really comfortable with yourself, you know. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
good luck, you know.
yeah. That's it. Good luck. Good luck. Yeah,
Good
I've
luck.
not
Be
reached that
patient.
stage yet. I'm still rocking the teenage swag. I don't know when I'm going to get out of it. It's just that I find teenage clothes are just cheaper and they fit me better.
And more accessible.
Yes, and there's no judgment because it's just a t-shirt is a t-shirt. Nobody knows it's
Yeah,
I
that's
bought it
true.
from the boys' teenage section in the shop, you know. But okay,
Yeah,
right.
that's true.
So that's just gender expression now. Okay, we done. Oh, look at your cat. It's doing a downward dog. Wrong
Yeah,
species.
Molly.
Your cat is also wrong. Trans species there. It's a cat doing a downward. Yeah, so cute.
That's the queen. She's like the most dominant, you
She's in
know.
every
She's the
video,
most
you know.
dominant.
She's
Huh?
in the last two videos we did. She's also in it. She's like at the
Because
back
she's the
there.
only one. Yeah, she's like the only one who would be daring enough to show her face to people. You know,
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know whether you know about this, but all my other cats, you know, the moment you have people even walking towards the door, they will be like scurrying off and hide. But this one would be like, look at me, I'm here.
She's definitely your child.
Yeah, definite.
Yeah. Okay, so gender identification. So in Malaysia, what is your gender identification on legal documents?
Unfortunately, it is still male.
Okay.
The reason is we know because of the religion that is prevalent here, the main religion. Even though, I mean, this is so debatable, you know, even though I know in the constitution it says that religion is an official religion, but a lot of people take it as that is how the country is. You know, because the country is not a Muslim country. I mean, it is a predominantly Muslim people in it, you know, so the religion have to be, you know, Islam. You know, I mean, I tried to, I mean, I didn't want to try actually. I just like, whatever, you know, don't disturb me kind of thing, I'm fine. But when it says official, something, let's say they say, okay, your official flag looks like this. Your official national anthem is this. Your official flower is Bunga Raya. Your official mascot is the orangutan. Your official religion is Islam. So it is just that, you know, it doesn't make it into a part of your life. It doesn't make a life. It doesn't identify. It doesn't make the country into what it is, into, because it's just official, you know, like so let's say if Bunga Raya is a religion, so what, your religion is Bunga Raya, you know, because Bunga Raya is our, you know what I mean, so it's just official, you know, which we respect the fact that it is official, but then it doesn't mean that it has to be translated into the law and the way of life, you know.
But it is.
Yes,
it is in the law, especially for Malays. Because other people can do what they want.
Yeah. So for me, it is still male, which I'm over it. You know, I mean, you want to write male, you want to write the lucky, or you want to still call me Mr. or whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter to me because I know who I am.
Right.
I'm comfortable with what I am. If you're comfortable with calling me Inche or Mr., then that's your part, you know. But then,
do people actually call you Mr.?
Yes.
Is there something wrong with their eyes?
Okay, I'm about to go into that because recently, this is very interesting. I did very interesting, Select. Recently, I had to attend the Sharia court to settle the faraid, the inheritance issue for my late sister.
Right.
Know, because you know, like my sister passed away, right? Okay, so she had like all, so she had all her assets and things like that. Yeah, thank you. So she had all her assets and things like that to be distributed according to the faraid in the Islamic way. So I had to attend court to you know. So it was very interesting because the lawyer who is doing it is a Sharia lawyer, you know, and then she knows my official name is Dara Razana Osman. It is so feminine. It's a feminine name, you know, which I purposely chose it so that even if you were to call me Mr., the only people that will look at you will be the other people will be like, why are you calling
where's the Mr.? Yeah.
Encik Dara, you know, Encik Dara Razana, when, you know, and then so anyway, when she first kept calling me Encik and Encik, I was about to tell her, probably you should like address me appropriately, you know, like according to my name and how I look and things like that. But then I didn't, because my mind kept thinking and kept rationalizing, kept saying like what would be the best situation, not only for me but also for her, because I'm quite sure she is very uneasy too, because she's not dumb, you know, she's not stupid, you know. But then because of the situation or the places that we are going to go, which is the Sharia court, I mean, it would be more confusing for the lawyer, for the judge, and for the court people if she were to address me as Puan.
Right.
And then suddenly my IC is the lucky male.
And all the documents.
And then when they had to divide the farah, you know, like if you're female, then your share is lesser and things like that, you know.
Okay, wait, don't go on that subject because I want to get to that.
Okay.
About
so
yeah.
at the end of it, I'm like, go with the flow.
Right,
you know,
right.
I mean, just go with the flow. And then fortunately, the judge this time around was more chill, you know, because I that's the only thing I can way to describe, because I don't know her personally. She was chill, more chill than when I had to attend the hearing for my late father. Okay, because when I attended my late father's one previously, it was with me, myself, my mom, and my late sister. And as you know, my late sister is the opposite of me, right? So that judge was not chill at all. I mean, to the point of being quite rude, you know, because she saw my IC, and then she saw my gender, and then, you know, I mean, you are the only she was the only one who can see the document. You look at me, you look at document, just keep it to yourself, right? You know, you could just go with it, right? You know, but no, she had to say it out loud in the court, because there were also other people, you know, like in the court. She went on and said like, ni lelaki ke perempuan? So are you a man or so are you a man or a woman? And you know, like, luckily I have this kind of question run in my mind, and I've been asked before. So I was quite cool. I said I was a man, but now I have transitioned. But according to the law, I'm still a man. So it's up to you to answer your own question. I said that, you know, and she was like, okay. And I put you as men, right? I'm like, up to you. I said, you know, so that was mine, you know. And then of course, then she went to my mom, and then suddenly she went to my sister. My sister was like very butch, you know. And she was
just
like,
explain to the viewers your sister, because you transitioned from male to female. What is your sister's story?
Yeah. So my sister, when the judge looked at her and she came up, she was stood up in her man's clothes and short hair, and her more low voice and things like that, you know. And then the judge was like, and this one, man or woman?
Okay, wait. So is your sister a trans man, or is she just a lesbian?
Yeah.
She's a butch lesbian.
She's a trans man.
Okay, so so in your family, you're swapped.
Yes.
Okay,
so
I'm just doing this for the viewers, because I know. So that they know. Yeah. So Dara, sister transitioned to male, and Dara transitioned to female. Yeah, I can imagine the judge. Oh, I wish I was there.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to laugh my head off, but then of course you had to like,
you have to like be like
composition, be very composed, you know, like, yeah, you know. So and then she was like, and then she was like she thought done one
I'm so happy this is
done.
over.
Oh yeah, you know. And then my mom, and then suddenly she looked at my sister's IC, and then she was like, then she in front of her was like a man, you know. So she was like, and this one, is it a male or a woman? You know? Then my sister was like, I'm like the opposite of this, my sister. Oh, I mean my brother. I don't know. So it was so like Judge Judy kind of episode.
Yeah, but you see, this is where the law in Malaysia must do something about it, because look at the situation now. I actually feel sorry for that woman, for that judge, because if you just stood there and it said there, gender transgender, then she would just be in like you know. But now of course it's confusing, you know what I mean?
I know.
Yeah,
I mean, it's confusing for them. I mean, like, but then that's the thing I like about it. I mean, I kind of like am quite satisfied about it, because when it comes to like these cisgender people, you know, like all these straight people, they think they
sorry,
want to
better say
like
straight, okay? Because cis is very offensive.
okay. So
Otherwise,
for
I
all the
was have to
straight,
now again to apologize to everybody. Yeah, okay, yes, we understand. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yeah. So for these straight people, I mean, like you know, from the from their faces, like they want to like kind of like make you the one who's embarrassed. You know what I mean? But then in the end, it is them who is confused and embarrassed. You know, and
Yeah.
then like for me, I'm like, I know who I am. You
Yeah.
know, you
But
want to
that's why
call
I
me
say,
whatever, I don't care.
but that's why I
Yeah.
say it's also because, you know, like here in India, no one is confused because they have it in their law. Like I was
Mm.
speaking to this friend of mine the other day, and we were talking, and then he was like, his name is Arjun. We were sitting down at the tea shop here, and this trans woman passed, and then we spoke to her, and then she left, and then he was like, oh, you know she's trans, right? I said, yeah, I know. He said, oh, okay. But the way people were with her, it was just like nobody
Yeah.
cared. It's like in
So
Thailand,
so
nobody cares.
yeah, I mean in Thailand, like at least like the acceptance is there. But in India, what about their identification? Do they still put
Yes, it
male,
says
female, or
transgender. No, transgender.
transgender? Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you know,
put
I think that's
transgender,
what
then you can put trans woman or trans man. Yes,
trans man.
it's in the,
Yeah,
yeah, you can put. And then
yeah.
they also have they also now talking about doing a category for the people with DSD, differences in
Okay.
sexual development. You know, it used to be called intersex, but that's not a good word anymore. The DSD people, they also, which is good because they are acknowledging
Yeah,
there are people with
because
anomalies, there are people who have
yeah,
transitioned, and then there are the binary people. They are acknowledging that.
yeah. You see, that's what I've mentioned to the registrar office when I after my transition, and then I wanted to like get my new IC and things like that, you know. Because the story was when I first transitioned, I think they weren't aware, or there was like no law yet and things like that. I had a passport that says female,
Mm,
okay, and my IC, if I'm not mistaken, was still male. Yeah, my IC was still male. It was the old IC, so I don't know, I can't remember. Oh yeah, it was the old IC where they had just the number. Okay, it was like from the plastic blue one
yes,
transition
yes,
before
yes,
the
yes.
current one. You
Yeah.
know, there was like that one,
Was
and
in
that
your
one didn't
number,
have any.
because your sex is normally in the number.
Yeah, you know,
Because they
so
took
in
that from
that
South
IC,
Africa.
yeah. So in that particular IC, I remember there was no mention of male. It was just a
Yes.
number, you know.
Yeah.
So because of that, for a while, for like about 5 years, I had a passport that says female, and I was so
Mhm.
happy about it, you know. And then finally, and then suddenly through during that time, they changed the IC to now where they had the number, and also they still have to mention the gender. So I had to renew, and then they renewed it, and then they had to revert and put my gender as male, you know.
Mm,
So they thought I was going to be unhappy. I was like, whatever, you know, I know who I am, kind of thing.
yeah,
But then I
yeah,
did
yeah.
mention to the yeah, no, so I did mention to the officer. I said, wouldn't it be much more easier if you were to put my, I mean, no, I didn't say easier. I said, do you know that I would be more happy. I don't want to be known as female, I said, you know, but I will be more happy if you all can have additional category for people
Mhm.
like me as is trans wanita, trans woman, you
Yes,
know,
yes, yes.
because that's what I am. You know, I'm very happy to be known as
Yes,
trans
because then
woman.
nobody's confused. Because then nobody's going to be
Nobody's
confused.
confused. Yeah. Number one, nobody's going to be confused. Number two, the most important part of for me is when you go to the hospital, then people say trans woman. Oh, okay. So socially, they will know how to address you. Maybe they will even know where to put you because they have like
Yes,
separate wards, you know.
yes,
And
yes.
but most importantly, medically, they will know
They will
how
know.
to treat
Yes,
you,
yes.
you know. So I told them, I said, I don't want to be known as female because I'm not, you know. But then if you were to put me as male, look at me, I mean, do I look like a male?
Yeah,
You
then
know,
they're just
maybe
all
it's
confused, and then they cannot do their
yeah,
work because now their brain is like.
yeah,
Okay, so I want to
exactly.
ask you. So how are trans people treated in Malaysia? So first of all, socially.
uh well, I guess this one depends on how visual one trans is in the society, and then how they carry themselves, what kind of lifestyle they do, because of course you hear horror stories, especially the one that's very famous one of the one that had to run away to Australia. So that one, unfortunately for her, she was very visual, so she became a target on not only the authority, not only the netizen, but also the authority, because she was too visual, and the authority feels like she was challenging them.
Right.
So the underlying reason is the authority felt challenged and insecure. So which brings to a point where if you're a trans in Malaysia, then you should just go low key.
Yeah, or you should just, but let me push back there. Isn't the whole thing about transitioning because you want to blend in? Isn't it? You don't want to stand out. You just want to you just want to be like with me when we walk in the street, you just want to be like me. You don't want to be this other thing or this other entity.
Yeah, I mean, majority of the trans are probably because of the need to be glamour.
Yes,
they need to have that outlet to be glamour, because of the conditioning that when you're trans, then you have to you have to made up, you have to look beautiful, you have to have sexy things like that. So because of that, most of them would not want to just be low key, and going back to that one person, it's not whether she's trans or she's low key or whatever. Her personality is that she wants to be a star. I mean, not in a bad sense. She wants to be noticed. She's a person who is looking for fame. I mean, if she was let's say if she was a straight woman, then she would be like a film star or something like that. So it is not because she's trans that she wants to be visual. That's because
what did she want to be? She wanted to be a movie star or what?
I mean, if with her good looks and her presence, if she was straight, she would be a film star or a top model.
Oh, but so they don't want, they didn't want the movies and stuff like that.
Of course not in Malaysia,
Right,
so
okay.
so her next best thing to do is to gain that popularity on her own, which was fine for a while, but then as the feedback, you have the good one and the bad one, and unfortunately the bad one, when the authority jumps on the bandwagon for the bad ones, and then the ulama went on the same bandwagon, so it became negative for her.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's like they are okay with trans people in Malaysia, but as long as you stay low key.
Yeah, low key.
Socially, okay. Yeah, I just want to get to the next. So, because we only have few minutes left. Okay, so in the workforce, what is the treatment like in general for trans people?
From what I see, not many trans will get to work in the mainstream workforce, and even if they are in the mainstream workforce, they are they kind of have to have dual life, like when they go to work, they still have to wear men's clothes and things like
so
that.
They cannot express them.
Yeah, they can't.
But
I mean, there are a few.
Is this business to business, or is it? I mean, it depends on the business they work for, or is it just in general?
In general. It depends also on the management. If the management is fine enough, I have seen trans who would just go to work as themselves.
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, and these are some corporates, so that I've seen trans going to work as themselves because of the management say fine, no problem, but then so it's not according to the business, it's according to the management. I mean, like myself, luckily for me, the management that I work in will always be if you can perform, we don't care.
Yeah,
You know,
just be presentable and perform.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay. So then, what about? Okay, let's go to. Okay, federal law I want to do, but I think that's fine because it's quite straightforward. Sharia law. So, like you were saying, like in your case, which means because you are still male, it does not affect you. So Sharia law cannot penalize you for things that they normally would, or judge you under what they normally judge women under, females under.
But they have a specific law for cross-dressers.
Yes, I know that, but I mean,
yeah,
like inheritance and covering up. So it does not apply to you. So in a way, it's kind of good.
The thing is that when it comes to the Sharia law on inheritance, I'm on the advantage, right? No, so that's why I'm like, you want to call me Encik, go ahead, as long as I get my share, you know. Yeah, give me the money, you know. But then when it comes to the Sharia side of it, I mean, as we can see, with that person we were talking about earlier,
yes,
they can always make up some kind of like law that it will be disadvantageous for trans anyway. They will make up. They will find a loophole somewhere. They will introduce some stupid law, you know, and things like that. You know, I mean, for example, I mean, this is like a sidetrack a bit. I don't know if you have read about the the authority who was trying to catch some dogs who was owned by some old men. You know, this happened like the last 1 week, 2 weeks ago. You know, and then like the authority came and was very gangsterish about it, you know, like even like punched the man, the old man, you know, like 69-year-old man was punched and hurt, you know, for trying by the authority with like the stick and whatever. So we were thinking that maybe the law would be on the old man's side, but no. Now the old man is being charged for obstructing the officers when the officers was like punching the man and all, you know, but the officers like not getting any reprimand at all. So it's like, what, you know? Of course, I just read it. I mean, I just let it, whatever. I don't even want to comment it, you know, because that's how it is, you know. I mean, that's how it is. Like over here, if you are in the position of authority, if they want to create or if they want to make some kind of charges, they will.
Right. Okay, I see. Okay.
You know, yeah. So when it comes to that, so that is the part where it is still not very ideal, you know, like it's just like to their whims and fancy kind of thing. If they want to charge you, they will create some kind of charges.
Okay. So I want to get to the next thing in Malaysia, like how is transgenderism treated under the federal law? And when I say this, what I mean is, what rights don't transgender people have, and what discrimination in the actual federal law is there against transgender?
Okay. I'm not so well versed with the law, but what I have heard being said is that Malaysia will never acknowledge transgender, or they always say LGBTs, you know, when we know who they are targeting it to or addressing it to, you know. When they say they won't acknowledge it, they will always say LGBT, but then it is like actually transgender, because the L and the G, you can't pinpoint them because they are so blended. You know, the lesbian, you know, you can have like long flowy hair, feminine, but you're a lesbian, but who's gonna know that that's a lesbian? And gay is the same thing, you know, so that one is another topic, you know. So I guess for the transgender, it will still be a uphill battle, and a lot of people are still fighting for acceptance, you know, and of course, if acceptance comes, then equality will comes too, you know. But then I don't see it
happening.
change
Yeah. So when you say
happening in my
acceptance,
lifetime.
do you mean like so that like in India where you have at least there's a category which is being acknowledged,
Yeah.
that your existence is acknowledged. Is that what you mean when you say in the
Yeah.
law?
Okay. You see, for me, the moment a person accepts, and let's say, okay, in this particular instance, the moment a government or the government accepts, okay, they are not stupid enough as to not know what to accept, because
Right.
our politicians are actually very smart. They are all, I mean, many of them are very smart people, and of course, we know some of them also have transgender or kids or relatives who are LGBTs. So they do have personal experience of them of their own. It's just that being politician, they have to show face that, oh, we are against, or those kind of things, but then so the moment they accept, I don't need to suggest to them what to do, whether to have additional category in identity, or to allow transgender to work without harassment or what. I don't have to suggest any of those, because the moment their mind say, okay, let's accept this transgender, they know what to do already, the authorities.
Yes. Right. Right.
I won't underrate them to think that, oh, maybe they don't know what to do if they say they accept. They know what to do.
They know what to do.
You know what I mean?
They're just not doing it.
They just don't. Yeah, they know what to do. Because if it's not in their family that they have transgenderism or whatever, they see, like in the first world country like Australia, in the US, or even in like Europe,
Even in Iran.
Even in Iran, yeah, I mean, like being LGBT or T, it's like not an issue anymore. Not
Yes.
only accepted, it's not an issue anymore. I mean, like like in Australia, there are so many like gay politicians,
Right.
and which is fine, because it is so open, it is so accepted. They are politicians, and nobody can use that point to bring them down,
Right.
like in Malaysia. The moment you say, oh, the minister is gay, oh my God, he cannot be politician, blah, 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 whatsoever, and then it will always be an ammunition for the opposition of his or her opposition to bring them down,
Right.
But in Australia, it's like he's gay, so, he can work, he's a good chief minister, he's a good foreign minister, she's a good foreign minister. So what if she's gay, or he's gay, or she's lesbian, or whatever? So it doesn't become a stigma, and it doesn't become a weapon for the other opposition to use, which is very enlightening, But over here, it is being used, as a weapon. The moment you use you accuse, or you say, or someone is being seen or kissing or whatever, then, oh no, that person is a bad person, cannot become our politician, even though that person is like the most educated, or the most committed, oh, cannot. No, we rather have like some stupid goons who are like not gay and lead us. It's like, where is your priority? You want so yeah, for me, like I said again, the first step is for you to accept, because once you accept, they know what to do. We don't have to suggest anymore. There is no need to have like a discussion or dialogue or whatever. You accept, you do your own research, you know what to do.
Can I just read you about Iran?
Yeah,
Iran is the only Muslim country in the Persian Gulf region that gives trans citizens the right to have their gender identity recognized by the law.
Yeah,
in fact,
I know
the
that.
Islamic Republic of Iran not only allows sex reassignment surgery, but also subsidizes it. And this is the reason why. The Iranian government sees trans individuals as people with psychosexual problems, as we said, and so provide them with a medical solution. You see?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I have known this for quite some time now. And I did kind of mention it to one prominent gay boy in Malaysia. So I was like, wow, Iran is so good, blah, 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 because of that, you know. And then he said, yeah, but do you know that they are only like that towards transgender because they still do not accept gay and lesbian.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
you see,
so
yes, but the difference is, I can tell you that now, it is because of the fact, and I will be talking about this with my other friend, Sue. With Sue, we will be having a let's talk like you and I are having. It's because gender dysphoria is a condition. So you cannot discriminate up against any person who has any physical or mental condition. This is just being compassionate. So what they are doing is right. It's the right thing to do. It is right. The reason they are like that with homosexuality, and I'm saying this not because I agree, or I'm just saying this is just the fact, is because sex is a choice. You know, having sex with a person is a choice. You can always say no. It's not like you have a condition that is forcing you to have the sex. You might have you might have the attraction for, like me, I could be attracted to my neighbor's son who's 12, but I don't have to have sex with him. You see?
Yeah, but then when it comes to
homosexuality,
no, I think when it comes to homosexuality and lesbianism too, it is some kind of mental condition too.
I have to stop you there because I'm going to get a lot of backlash because
no, I mean like for me,
people are the LG are totally against this. They say there is nothing wrong with them. This is just normal behavior. So laws are then made if they are saying no, this is not. They've been taken off the DSM-5. You know, the American Medical.
But then, okay, I mean, okay, let's just talk as a layman, okay? If you are gay or lesbian and you don't have any feelings towards the opposite sex, I think that has something to do with what you have here. You know, it may not be called a mental disorder, but it is something mental because you cannot just, I mean, so it's not a choice actually, because not say that, oh, I choose to be gay, because you don't choose to make love to that guy.
I totally agree with you, but I cannot say anything because people are gonna crucify me for saying.
Okay.
Even
so let's just not get into it.
Yeah. We'll do that another time. But I will. This part is just you and I talking, but this would be a very interesting subject as well. But at the moment,
so that's why I think we should have like some gay and some lesbian in that conversation. Right. But going back to Iran, I mean, like I do give them a hats off because at least they are tackling one issue
at the time,
regardless. Which is fine, so I mean, because when I was talking to that friend of mine, I'm like, I'm gonna go to Iran, I'll be like, they even like will
I've seen many in Iran when I was there, and they're so stylish.
They will allow you
my goodness.
They will allow you to marry too,
Yes, because it's a condition. You cannot punish someone for something that they cannot help. You have to assist.
So if anybody from Iran are watching this, especially the guys, I'm here. Let's get married. Let's get to know each other.
Okay. Anyway, so since we're gonna have to wrap up now, is there anything you would just like to something that you hope in the future for the trans community in Malaysia, like any changes you would like to see or
well,
okay, please go ahead.
Of course there are so many things that needs to be changed, but then who am I to even want to start the change? I mean, I can only hope. Like I just hope if they are not gonna change any laws, at least they would have compassion not to create new ones that can be, you know, can be used against transgender. You know what I mean? I mean, like also when you see online or in the mind of the authorities, you know, they only have one image of the transgender who are not a good person, you know, not likable, disgusting, you know, whatever, you know. I mean, like that's not the correct image at all, because like there are transgender who are like giving, who are like intelligent, who really just want to work, you know, but to them it's like, oh no, all transgender, first of all, they just need to change back to being what they are. My hope from the authority towards transgender, please don't harass us. I mean, regardless on how you justify it, because we are not a bad person, you know. There are a lot of us who just wants to be in the society in a very positive way, and I think there are a lot of us who are in the society in a positive ways, because the more the authority or the people with influence condemn us and talk down about us, you know, it just create a lot of animosity, especially towards the people, the netizens, you know. Because if you were to see the comments on netizen whenever the topic of transgender people comes up, I mean, they are so mean and so vicious, you know, which is probably being said by anonymous users, you know, just for them to let out their insecurity. I don't know, but then it's not healthy, you know. I mean, it's not healthy because we are not a bad person, we are not bad people, you know. We are good-hearted people, you know. Whether on the social side or on the religious side, you know, no one should be judging us according to that, you know. Because yeah, like I said, and we are basically we just want to live a life that is not stressful, with all the good things. Yeah, so please just be kind to us. You know, we are not ending the world. We are not starting a war. We are not promoting killing anybody. You know, we just want to live our life, and like you all, like all the straight people, want to live a good life too. That's what our hope is for. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Wow, that is profound. So on that note, thanks again, Dara. And
You're welcome.
I'll definitely see you in the next meeting, which is maybe in a month's
Yeah.
time. So until then, cheers.
Thank you, Celeste, for having me. I hope it has been beneficial to everybody. And hopefully you all can open up your eyes and heart to the things around you, especially towards transgender people like me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Celeste, bye.
Bye-bye.